Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I'm not forgetting to record this time.
Cool. No problems. Let's go for it.
Hi there, I'm Rekha.
I'm
Hello.
Reshu.
I'm
Yeah,
Farah.
Srinidhi.
I'm sorry, I'm not Srinidhi as well. I'm interrupted.
Yeah, I had some audio issues, but now it's all fixed. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, so together we are the KidlitNest, and we have come together to form this community so that we can share what we know and what we have learned in the process, so that we can build this community. And this month's prompt, as you see, or if you have not seen, is the classic covers. And we will be doing, for today's call, we'll be focusing on the Little Red Riding Hood, because of the very simple fact that there are only two characters, and it's fairly an easy, simple story compared to the others. So feel free to join in and draw along with us. Srinidhi and Farah will be drawing today along with you all, and each of the images are for 3 minutes. And the images will be popping up. Reshu will be taking care of it. Feel free to use iPad or analog, digital, anything you wish, but please make sure that you keep it simple. Don't use watercolor or wet medium, because each of it is just 3 minutes. So there is a risk that, you'll not be able to do. And if you have any questions, please do pop it in the chat or just ask. Did I miss anything? Okay, let's get
No,
started.
I guess you have done everything. Yes.
Okay, let's get started.
Get
Each
your
of
red
the
pencils.
Oh,
Yes.
each of the image
Your
is
red
for
pencils.
3 minutes. You'll have 3 minutes for doing each of them. We have a mix of the characters and the environment for this. Oh, I
Rika,
need
would
to
you
give you.
allow me to
Yes,
share the
one
screen,
second.
please?
Give me a second.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you able to do, Rishu?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm starting the timer now.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go.
What we try to do is we try to move away from the cliches and try to give a mix. When we do any story, the most important thing is a character, and here being the Little Red. If you look at this image, she has a very different kind of attire. It could be she might be dressed up for a Hungarian party or a Russian attire. If you look, she has more of a Halloween kind of attire, dress up like a fancy dress or something. So don't restrict your images to just the hood as you see for the Little Red, and go beyond and doing the thing. And also, when you do the covers, first understand your story. It's very important that you read your manuscript, understand the story, and understand who your characters are, which I think is very, very important. I mean, is the character a shy character? Is your character bold? What if you just look at this, definitely it doesn't look like very Victorian era or something. So you need to know the setting of your characters. Are they set up in a Victorian era? Are they more modern? So
And
your
the clothes, the dresses, the clothes, the frills, and the accessories all define what era the character comes from, So that is also something to keep in mind, yeah.
Yeah, and you need not always stick to the cliche ones. You can always try different, an Indian version of Red Riding Hood, or I think Rekha did try a Middle
Kashmiri
Eastern
girl.
version.
I did a Middle East version, and the first time I did was for the CB Pro. I don't know how many of you are aware of this course CB Pro by the SBS Learn. So for that, I had chosen a Kashmiri girl. I set up the Little Red Riding Hood in the Kashmiri Valley. And
Yeah.
yeah, the wolf was like she had to, Little Red, instead of the jungle, she was supposed to pass through the river, though
Mm.
I
Mm-hmm.
never got to
That's
finish it,
interesting.
but
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
You can always
uh,
have different takes and experiment with
yes,
stuff.
yes, absolutely. Kaushani,
And when
I
it comes
have
to,
done the
yeah,
CB Pro course, and yes, it's really good. I mean, if you are looking for being a professional illustrator, then I would definitely suggest CB Pro, because it is very exhaustive. It's a 10-week course and it's extremely exhaustive, and it comes not just from one person's point, but it comes from three illustrators' point. Yeah, this is exactly what we are talking of. What is your age
yeah,
of your character? Now, the first one, she is more a picture book kind of a character, 4 to 6 years old.
yeah,
In this one, she is an teen or adult. So your
mm-hmm,
story, the way you do a storytelling will differ based on the age of the character,
yeah,
because obviously a
Yeah.
mm-hmm,
children's bedroom will not be the same like a teenager's bedroom, and definitely will not be the same like an adult's room, and the same goes with the story as well. So first, know what is the age of your
yes,
character, what is uh, the era or the setting they belong to, and also the financial status at times matters a lot. Like, if the is your character a very hip hop kind of a character, or is the character more introverted? Like, if your character is more introverted, if you could just go and look at Srinidhi's tip from last month, she talks
yeah,
about,
mm,
how you add accessories to the character to bring the
exactly. Yeah.
character's characteristics out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, in case you're doing like a forest theme story, then it only makes sense if the house and setting and the objects that she carries are from the forest. Like you can't put a very modern, theme, like a very modern object in inside the woods. So always make sure that your character goes with your setting. That
Yeah.
makes the story, like, yeah, storytelling more understandable in a way.
That's right.
Also, I feel the way you dress your character depends on uh, where how you want to tell the story. Like,
Yeah.
if you're having a character where she is swimming, she's a swimmer and she's swimming. If you give her a long princess like skirt, you cannot do a proper storytelling with it, because you can't show that legs movement and stuff. So
Yeah.
understand
Yeah.
where your character is, and dress her accordingly.
Mm-hmm. And
Even
also
in,
when it's about covers, yeah,
yeah,
this
yeah,
month
carry on.
since we are doing covers, yeah, this month since we are doing covers, a cover is supposed to make someone pick up the book and also give them a gist of what's inside. So it's always good to experiment with gestures. Like in this image, what I love is it tells you that something is about to happen and it's very exciting to see that. So I think this conveys that because you don't know what she's looking at. Even if you know the exact story that it's about a wolf or something, it still intrigues you. So it's always nice to pick different gestures for the cover, which is very interesting rather than them just standing there and being just looking at the viewer or reader. So always experiment with gestures, and you can convey the entire story in just a gesture, right? Like if this is a mystery book, then the gesture can be mysterious and makes you want to pick it.
Yeah.
Reshu, we are starting. Can we start the timer now? Because I think we missed,
Okay.
right?
Yeah. Definitely. Definitely. Yeah. I just started.
Yes, from my talk.
No worries. It's very important, I guess. Whatever be it, even
Yeah,
if you're doing just a cover, sometimes we illustrators get commissioned to just design a cover, especially when
yeah,
it
Yeah.
is cases
was
of
yeah.
young adult,
Mm-hmm.
middle grade, and even adult books. It's very important that
Mm-hmm.
you read the story, know the story, and then do the cover,
Mm-hmm.
because your cover is
Yeah.
what will decide whether your book sells or not in the first place. I mean,
Yeah,
only
Yeah.
once you
yeah,
pick up the book, you know what is there inside it.
yeah.
So
Even
it's
if it's
very
an
important.
amazing book, yeah, it will not, you only know if someone picks it up. So to make them pick it up, even though you're not supposed to judge a book by its cover, that's how I definitely judge a book by its cover.
I
Yeah, and
mean,
it's always a yeah, go
yeah,
on.
I mean, just think about us, when we go to a bookshop where there are thousands and thousands of books in different racks piled up. How do we pick up
Yeah,
the book?
yeah, exactly.
Okay, I mean, we
Yeah,
know the illustrator, we pick up the book. It is a bestseller, we pick up the book. But what if the book is not known? I mean, what if the author or illustrator is
yeah.
not known? Sometimes there are so
Yeah.
many books that I have picked up where
Hmm.
I didn't like the interiors, but I simply love
But
the
you love the
cover.
cover.
I
Yeah,
love the
exactly.
cover,
Agree.
so I picked
Yeah,
it up. And I even have such
exactly.
books, and I keep telling why the heck did I pick this up. So it's very
Just for the
important.
cover.
Yes,
Yeah.
make the cover as
Hmm.
beautiful as possible. When I say beautiful, not illustratively beautiful, but it should have an
But
element
yeah,
of,
conveying the storytelling
yeah,
should be there in
storytelling.
your
Like,
cover too. Yeah.
it
Yeah.
should make you wonder that what is there
What
inside
is
it.
inside the book? Yeah.
Yeah, it should
Hmm.
make
Exactly.
you look at the book. If you have seen some of the book covers, like, I don't have it out right now, but you just see the book cover, you will literally wonder what is the story about.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also,
And
it's
it's,
good to have your
yeah.
main characters on the book,
On the book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
on the
Only
cover.
your main characters. It's
Yes.
also important not to only have your main characters. Like if your book has parents, but they just come in a scene and go, it's better that you not put them as part of the cover, because
Yeah.
it might be misleading. So just put like only your main characters in the cover. Like even if it's it's the antagonist or the protagonist, you can just put them on the cover rather than the side characters.
Yeah.
So
And it's
like for
always a
Red
better
Riding.
idea. Yeah.
We have
It's
7 seconds.
always, yeah. We're just about to finish this one.
And if you or any of you have any questions, if you wanna ask like on the call too, you can
If you just
ask
look at
that.
the image which Reshu shared just before this and this one, both are
Hmm.
wolves, but you can see a stark difference in their characters. If you just look at that
Yeah,
wolf, he looked more naive and as though he is in his own
you look more
comfort zone.
friendly. Yeah,
Yes, and this guy looks straight, don't mess with me kind
you
of a
should not
character.
mess up the yeah, exactly.
If you just look at this character, he has more triangles, though he's not actually drawn, it's a photograph. If you look, his jawline,
Yeah,
his ears,
Yeah.
even his
Very
tail
sharp.
are very pointy
Yeah.
and sharp,
yeah.
which itself says that he cannot be a good guy.
Yeah,
Hmm.
even the
Yeah.
stance. So this is where the gestures matter. Like even a stance shows that he should not. You should not mess with him. Acting mode. You can read that all just by his stance, just by his gestures.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's why you always need to like be aware of your gestures that you're giving your characters because it might convey a lot more than what you expect it to.
And don't
And
be
it might be more
afraid of
exciting.
exaggerating the gestures. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
don't keep, because it's just uh, unlike a movie which is a 1 to 2 hours, a life which is a lifelong thing. It's very easy to get to know a person in an entire life. A movie, it's just 2 hours, but a picture book is just 16 spreads. And we need to communicate an entire story in that time. We don't have so much of time to tell that this is a bad
Yeah.
person, this is a good person,
And Rekha,
this.
there's a
Yeah.
comment. There's a comment asking, are you guys all good confident with lettering? I think
No,
Rekha is
I'm
the best
not.
person to answer this.
I'm not. I'm really not confident with lettering at all. I'm okay with lettering. In my analog, but not digitally at
Mm.
all. But I don't think
Yeah.
that has stopped me in any way. The books I am working on currently,
Hmm.
it's the
Hmm.
publisher who's taking care of the lettering, I mean, if you
Mm-hmm.
know lettering, it's good to have in your kitty. But if you
Yeah.
don't, it's
Yeah.
really not a problem unless and
It's
until
not,
you
yeah.
are
It's
looking
not a
for
must.
a,
It's not that
yeah.
you should be, it's just a must.
But
Yeah, it's
it is
not a
a
must.
must if you're looking at a illustration agency, because they also look
Yeah.
at things like lettering.
Yeah. It's an added
Yeah,
value to
that's
your
it.
portfolio though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's a very good
Mm-hmm.
thing to have, but it is not a must
Mm-hmm.
if you are
Yeah.
an illustrator only, Yeah, and
Mm-hmm.
this one, we did the characters, and now we are going for the setting. Now, this we
Setting.
selected, which was the very simplest one that we could find. The place where
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
the story is going to end, or the climax thing, like the entire story is around this, that she is going to her grandmother's house. Now, what kind of house you want to give depends on the characteristics of where that house is situated. Like if it is a jungle, the house would be very different. If the house is in a lakeside or a desert, it will be different. If the
Yeah.
house is
Yeah.
belonging to a very affluent prince or something like that, it would be very different compared to a
Yeah.
house like if it is very conservative orthodox kind, then the house would be very different. So the way
Yeah.
you design your characters, the props, and your
Mm.
storytelling should also match with the house and other things that you're connecting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everything in
And
your
a
story
house
should look
conveys a
like they are
lot
all
about the
related.
owner, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Go
So
on, Reshu.
yeah, the house, the setting. I mean, the house, particularly, if we speak about it, conveys a lot about your own personality, because every person has a different choice for their house, and an evil's house might be very look evil looking, and
How
and
many of
and
you
this one.
have been on our last month's call? I know that Sakshi and Anu and Priya was there. Remember, we did the
Even
Halloween houses?
even
Yeah,
Nirupama was there. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
we did the Halloween houses, right? So it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
it's more on the scary side. If the wolf stayed here, for example, not
Mm-hmm.
the grandma, the house would be very different,
Yeah.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
So
This
what
has a lot of greens, flowers, and stuff, so that makes you give a very cozy kind of
yeah,
environment. It's
welcoming
very
look. Yeah,
barren and
I
yeah,
also
barren and stuff.
wanted to mention that, when we do something, you can pick up, you don't have to come up with everything from your head. You can use references,
Mm-hmm.
but only thing is, don't copy the references as is, because
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's straightforward and insult to our own creativity that we can't think beyond. But what
yeah,
you
Yeah,
can do is,
exactly.
you can take the structure of this house, add your own stuff from your house. What did you have
yeah,
Yeah.
hanging?
Mm-hmm.
Like if you look in India, we have a pumpkin or an ash card that you hang outside.
Mm-hmm.
You have this stuff like that. We'll have, many of us have plants outside. We have a dog's den outside and stuff. So
Yeah.
So I think
it's
we're done with uh, you know this drawing session. I think we should proceed with the covers, and
Do you
or
guys
do you
want to
want?
draw the covers as well? Do we
I
have
think
time? Do you, any of you have any questions? No?
Do we have time for covers? I don't think so. Do we, Reshu?
No, I
Actually,
don't.
when I was drawing it, I was sort of drawing it with the background, as in obviously it's all a scribble, because in 3 minutes all I can get is a scribble.
That's all
Yeah,
Um,
that you
yeah.
need.
See, that's exactly what we wanted you to do. That's why we gave like different objects so that you can. These are all things that can be in the cover, right? Like the main character and
yeah,
the
Yeah.
wolf and
yeah.
the. Mhm.
Now,
That's
we
nice. That's nice to hear.
actually, if you go on to this timed drawing sessions, you'll be surprised that,
Mhm.
what you can do in that few minutes of 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute drawings. We probably will never do
Mhm.
even in a 1 hour session, because
yeah,
when
Yeah,
you're on
exactly.
timed drawings, your brain is not thinking, you're not giving time to think. It's only your impulse that's working.
Yeah. You're
So it's
just
very
your hand just
interesting.
moves. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, Anu, you have a question?
Not a question actually, but when I saw classic covers, I thought it was going to be entirely about lettering. And
Oh,
somehow
Oh,
I
sorry for disappointing
oh
you.
my God, no, 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 no.
somehow I lost track of the children's art, and I thought it's going to be only
Oh,
lettering.
No, no, it's classic.
Okay.
Classics are the old. We actually chose classic
covers.
covers this month because there is this folktale month, folktale week happening,
Folktale week going
and
on.
many
Yeah.
of us are participating. So we didn't want to have another one, and also we thought that we could have something
Mhm.
which could help you and also us to do things
To
that we
have a
can use it
cover.
there. You
Yeah.
can actually
Yeah.
pick up
And
And
any of the prompts from the folktale week and turn it into a cover as well.
yes, yes, I
Yeah.
saw those.
yeah.
They were really intriguing. But no, my
And it's
bad.
always nice.
Not
Yeah.
complaining, it's just
And it,
that, what I envisioned was maybe they're going to tell us where to place.
Oh,
uh,
yeah. I mean, that is also a very important. I know you brought a very important point that when it is cover, we have to make room for the lettering,
lettering
and
too.
also
Yeah.
Yeah.
the
That's
lettering should
mhm.
go in terms with the story. Like if it is an adult's book or a teenage book or a very dark kind of a story, you cannot have a very flowery, flowy kind of
Yeah.
lettering. You need a much more
Mhm.
serious lettering. If your
Maybe with
story
spider
is,
webs and something. Yeah,
yeah,
something
if
scary.
you're having
Yeah.
a story like for Halloween and stuff, have something which is more Halloweeny kind.
Yeah.
I think
That's
that's something
also,
that we can discuss in the future with the
Yeah, we'll
icon
definitely take this
typography.
into account, and yeah, because it's
Yeah.
something we also need to get better at because we are also not good at lettering. So
I at
yeah,
least I'm
that's a
not
nice
good
point
at,
too.
I chicken out whenever there is anything to
Hmm.
do with lettering. I'm literally,
Hmm.
I'm the first to run away. So it's something that we need to work on, but it doesn't stop you from getting work. You will
Yeah,
get work if you are good
Mm,
at your storytelling more than drawing it in
Yeah.
picture books. What is important is your way of telling story, the way
telling the
you
story.
use
Yes, right.
values,
Yeah,
composition, layouts.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
beautifully you
yeah,
draw doesn't really matter as much as your
Yeah.
storytelling,
Storytelling
composition,
skill.
the way you
Yeah.
use different kinds of layouts and stuff. So focus on that
yeah,
more, and the
And it's
drawing style, everything will evolve.
And it's always a good
yeah.
idea to, try out different compositions before getting onto one, before sticking to one cover. It's
Mhm.
always just try as many thumbnails as you can and, try different composition, different values, and
Yeah,
you'll be surprised by the outcome you'll choose after, so much of
trying
thumbnailing.
different thumbnails.
Yeah.
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 Rishu, you
Then you
want to
would
go
have
to the
rather choose
next
without
one?
doing it. Yeah.
Uh,
It-
are we done sketching? Is there more?
I think we're done with sketching. We need to discuss these
Okay.
covers. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so we have put together a few covers. Uh, this is one of them, which is more on the darker side. If you look, it's through a forest, and it's not a proper forest. It's more a deadly one. You can see it with all the silhouettes of the owls
Yeah.
behind, and dead trees. There are no leaves on the trees, and even the
And
wolf
Yeah.
does
what
not
I
look
yeah,
friendly at all.
and what I really like
Mhm.
about it is that the wolf's paws, they resemble the tree trunk.
Yes.
It's just
Mm.
yeah. So I really like that effect. That's
Also, I
really
Yes.
cool.
noticed that they've done some very nice detailing even on the bottom of the tree. They've
Yes.
made that look,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
very cool. That's
Yes.
Yeah.
nice detail
Yeah.
to add there.
Yeah.
another thing that
Oh,
you
that's
can
very.
look at is color palette as well. So if you notice there, like there's only like 3 or 4 colors being used, and that gives a really
Mhm.
good effective cover choice as
Yeah.
well. So if you look, I mean, you got red, you got your yellows. It might look like it's green. It actually isn't. It's actually done tonally with the black and the
We
green.
have just 10 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. Go through.
Yeah, this one is again a very good example of the use of whites and silhouette to tell the story. If you see, the trees are actually used as the legs for the wolf as well. There's no leg, it's just the body, and it's just overpowering.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at this
There's
one,
a question on
the little
thumbnails.
red. Should we do
Like
it at
how
the
detailed
end?
should the thumbnails be?
Thumbnails does not have to be detailed at all. It is for you to understand.
Exactly.
You can keep it as scribbly as possible, as naive as possible. It's really not required. Only if your client is asking you for a thumbnail, then keep it in a way that they can understand.
It's
Don't send
understandable,
just
yeah.
scribbles. But thumbnails
Yeah.
is not at all to be very fancy or anything. It can be as simple as possible. Oh yes,
These are
this
some
is
other
one of
covers that.
my,
Yes, Rehapka, go ahead.
yeah, the first one is, if you just look at this, the first one is very clear that it is not a picture book. It's more an adult market. And if you look, there is no wolf, there is no forest. It's just the silhouettes. And it is just the little red, and that too she is also a silhouette, which is so good to know, because probably this is an adult book and there is no character, there is no images inside.
Yeah.
It's as simple as possible.
Yes, and if you look, all four books have different kind of lettering for the title, and they are placed differently. If you see the first one, the title is on the silhouette. The second one and the last one, it is right in the center. The bottom, the third one, there is like a ribbon, which is very classic in the folktale-ish kind.
Yeah.
So
And
where
even the
you,
illustration in that one is very classic, you know, the use
yes,
of watercolors and, you know, the look.
Yeah, even the lettering has to go with the story. Like
Yeah.
if it's a like you can see the third one, it's a very vintage one. So the lettering also looks very vintage. Whereas the first one, it has sharp edges, which goes along with the adult market for the story. You know, so
Yeah.
everything has a language, and everything has to go together very well. That will make it like go along and smoothly.
Yeah.
absolutely.
If you're worried about your type, I mean, if you look at it in 3 out of them 4 there, you'll see that the type's actually sat at the top of the page, and that's because obviously it needs to be stood out. I'd say about 10% that is actually at the bottom of the page. So when you like designing your cover, have a look where your text will go first. Then you can work around the image around it.
And
that'll
if
be a
you
good
look,
starting point.
if you look at all of this, it's very clear that it is set up in some kind of a forest kind.
Yeah.
But if you are setting up, like if I had finished the story in the Kashmir thing, I would not have a forest. Probably I'll have a river, So it depends on where you're setting up, and that should come up on the cover.
Yes.
Exactly.
Do you have any questions?
Yeah.
Oh yes, this one again, each of it
Yes, go
has
ahead,
a,
Tanya.
has a beauty of its own. Each of it, if you look, the lettering is on the top, unlike the previous one where one of them was below. And again, they are all placed in a way that they don't obstruct or stop the view of
They
your
don't hinder the illustration, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
you'll
Yeah, Rekha. Yeah, Tanya has a question she wants to ask.
Yeah. Since we are talking about, you just talked about the title, like thinking about the title, Farah just talked about it. I'm having this issue right now. The current book I'm working on, it's 2 sentences. It's really big. And what's happened is it's a book about 4 seasons, and it's kind of like, it has a lot of things going on, right? So I'm struggling with the cover because I know that if the text is a lot, you cannot put that much elements in the cover, because then it will be like confusing. Do we look at the title? Do we look at the art? So I would love to hear what you guys think about that.
If you look at some of the covers, like especially the extra yarn by John Classen, the cover is the title is not big, but the title occupies the entire cover. And if you look, the story is told through the title, where the main character is sitting on one of the letters, and it is the yarn that goes through all the lettering. So probably you can use the character on or amongst the letter, and because the title should be big, because it's the title that you want to be noticed for. If you no matter how beautiful your art is, if your title is not seen, how can you buy the book? So it's like make sure that you give enough space for the title, and then you have the characters around it. John Klassen's book is what comes to my mind. There are few other books probably I can share, where the characters are placed on top of or amongst the letters.
Again, it goes down to composition. Composition. Sorry,
you need to try more compositions.
Yeah, it always goes down to that again. So it's a case of thumbnailing, and again making your title the priority.
Even
like
with the previous slide, there was this one where there were just silhouettes, like the Little Red Riding Hood in the snow. I think that has a lot of space where I can put the title, but still the story was conveyed through silhouettes. So you can even tell the story
So
minimal
that's what I was
through
thinking.
silhouettes
For
and
example,
stuff.
in the first one,
this one.
if you see here, there's a lot of space for the text. Even if the text were larger than this, of course it's a small one. It could have been easily illustrated and without any issues, like you were talking about, Tanya. I think we could try something like this.
How many minutes do we have?
There's only 2 minutes.
We have
Oh
less
my
than 2
God, we
minutes.
didn't share anything. Does anybody want to share work, Srinidhi, Farah? I think we'll get cut.
I'll let you go, Srinidhi.
Oh wow.
Do you want to sing?
Amazing. I just love it.
It's so beautiful.
So good.
Oh, this is good. That red one is my favorite. Too good.
Wow.
Srinidhi is really good with all this very fast ones.
It's really quick, But that goes over practice over time, and then that's mine at the moment. So just
lovely.
Love it.
Oh my God. Let me just pin you guys. Oh, that's done. Anybody else wants to share? Tanya, Anu.
Go for it, sure.
One
If
second.
the time runs out, then please feel free to tag us.
Lovely.
If the time runs out, feel free to tag us.
This is really good.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yes, this is amazing. Yeah.
So good.
Guys,
well, over time practice.
There's only 50
We'll be cutting off soon.
Okay.
One second.
Yeah.
One second. Let me just.
Sorry about the glare.
No.
No worries.
No problem.
Oh, lovely. I love this.
Oh, how cute.
That's good.
Very, very cute.
Yeah.
And I think I made one cover also. Give me a second. I was working on
really good.
The composition.
Lovely. Tanya, that's so good.
That's so good.
This is so
very
good.
good.
I was using
It's only 15 seconds more.
Okay, sorry.
Fine. No, that's right.
Guys, we cut off any second now.
Yeah, it's our fault.
I think
we are sorry. Please feel free to tag us.
Please tag us.
Yes,
Kaushali.